Hey guys, how are you doing? Thank you for coming back to TJ's Bible Extravaganza. So glad you're here. We're going to continue on talking about the parables of Jesus. And in this parable, we're going to talk about the seeds and the sower. In Matthew 13, verses 3 through 8, it says this, Then he told them many things in parables, saying, Consider the sower who went out to sow. As he sowed, some seeds fell along the path. The birds came out and devoured them. Other seed fell on the rocky ground, where it didn't have much soil, and it grew up quickly, since the soil wasn't deep. But when the sun came up, it was scorched, and since it had no root, it withered away. Other seed fell on the thorns, and the thorns came up and they choked it. Still other seed fell on the ground, on the good ground, and produced fruit, some 100, some 60, and some 30 times what was sown. In this parable, Jesus is using analogies, and each of the different paths that the seed or the Word of God falls on, that's a different type of person who hears the Word of God. The seed that falls along the path is like the people who hear the Word of God, but they don't fully understand it. So the evil one can come and snatch it up, just like the birds did. The birds are the devil, and the birds come and snatch up that Word of God before it can ever take hold. The people who were like the rocky ground, they grow quickly, but there's no roots. So when the sun comes, it burns that plant. Or the persecution or the distress that comes to people who hear the Word of God, if they don't have those deep roots, it's not going to hold. And then there's people who are the seed that's cast into the thorns. That's the deceit of wealth or worries that come along. That choke the Word of God before it can ever really take root, before it can ever really do any good. Those worries come and they choke the Word of God before it can take root. And then there's the good ground. That's the ground that we all want to strive to be. That's the person who hears the Word of God. They understand the Word of God, and then they produce fruit. Not just one of those things, not two of those things, but all three. They hear the Word of God, they understand the Word of God, and then they produce fruit. This is my challenge for you guys. When you're the person who, falls along the path, the seed that falls along the path, and you don't fully understand something, study the Word of God. Study it so the evil one can't come and just snatch it away. Grow deep roots. Again, by studying the Word of God, you can grow deep roots. So when the distress and the persecution come, you're not going to wither under the sun. You want to be like the good ground. You want to understand the Word of God. You want to hear the Word of God. And you want to bear fruit of the Word of God. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming again. Just hit the subscribe button. Start listening to this every day. I'm going to try to do it all the time. I love you guys. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.